face of the goal, looking for Spencer. Spencer into the forward pocket, opposed to Spans. Got it now. Will he get shepherded off for? He did. Gave the handball to Light, tried to kick it off the ground. He had an airy, and Central Districts will take it away through Peter Nix again from the back pocket. Out towards the half-back line, and the only player there is Robin Mulholland. Kicked 1 or 2 points early in the game. He's got all the time in the world. Runs through the centre wing, looks for a Guernsey up in front and finds 1-2. Good play, Saywell, who for mine's had the better of Lindsay McGee so far. Here's his kick from just backward of the half-forward flank. Kicks towards centre half-forward. Oh, Airy nearly... What's happened, Wally?
I don't know what it is, but the umpire's giving...
15 yards.
15 yards. Saywell another kick. It looked like Beswick or Airy, was it? Airy over the mark too far.
And the free kick, the 15-yarder, to be taken here by Saywell. Umpire O'Connell getting an ironic cheer from the crowd after the foot pass. Here's a kick towards the half-forward line. Knocked away by Eade, but Connor's too quick for him. Gets the handball over towards Skinner. He played for the free kick, and he's going to get it too.
Well, it was there. He didn't have the ball. Knew he was in trouble. And hands up in the air, got him a free kick. He's a bit too far out, even with the breeze for mine, but let's see how he goes.
In fairness to umpire O'Connell, however, he was tagged and retarded.
Sure.
Here's the kick. Getting up to 55, 60 yards out. It's a magnificent kick, a good spiral punt, like the one that Freeman did, but like Freeman's too, offline, 1 point, although Freeman was a good 10 to 15 yards further out. That takes the score, you're viewing on Channel 9, to Port Adelaide 3-6, Central Districts 1-5.
Ron Ellaway, the fullback, to bring this ball back into play for the Magpies. He goes to the outer side of the oval with a 35-yard kick. Up there is Philip Horn, and he takes the mark unattended. Good play by Horn. He judged that perfectly.
Yes, and a good call too. He yelled out loud, and the Central District players stopped and gave him every chance.
He should kick the distance, Philip Horn. Normally a very straight kick and covers plenty of distance. It's a drop punt. It's a long kick right up towards the square, but it's offline again for another point to Central Districts. 1 goal 6 they are.
They're mounting them up. 1 goal 6. Port Adelaide are 3 goals 6. 9 shots to 7, and it was all Port Adelaide for the latter half of the first quarter. But Central Districts have been attacking well for the first 3 minutes of this quarter. They did that early in the first quarter also, but died out.
Both Horn and Castley from Western Australia, and over the last 5 or 6 years, I would imagine that Centrals would have had 6 to 8 players at least from Western Australia, and they've had some good ones among them too. Shorthill, Grulishitz come readily to mind.
Ellaway brings the ball out towards the grandstand side. Over there is Cochrane, couldn't take the mark. Skinner's behind there. He tries to barge his way through a pack of players and could have been a little bit lucky there not to be penalised for holding the ball. Umpire O'Connell decides to bounce it instead. Philip Horn's in there, former East Perth player. Gets up into the air. Mildy takes it, but Horn tries to get it. Taken away by Haslam in towards the centre. Barnum can't get over to the ball. Now he comes after possession. He can't bend over, but he's got it now. Tries to get the hand pass out. Couldn't get away with it. Across there is James. Umpire O'Connell calls play on. Players all over the place. At the bottom of the pack was Davis, and Umpire O'Connell decides to bounce again just backward of the centre circle. Farnham again will be in there, knocked away by Mildy, taken over there by Davis, kicks towards the left half forward flank. Back there is Erie, across there is Johns, can't get to it. Erie can, because he kept his eye on the ball all the time. Drives it out towards the right centre wing, across comes Cochrane. Cochrane gets it, hand passes it back to Swinstead. Good play, a short kick looking for Kevin Johns, and finds that player on the left half forward flank. He comes round on a big sweeping arc. Oh, it's a shocking kick looking for Philip Horn. The ball bounces awkwardly. Coming away there is Broadridge. Keeps his eye on it. Good play. Goes for a short kick looking for and finding Teely on the right half back flank. Port Adelaide strong under pressure in defence. Kicks in towards centre half forward. Back there is Sorrell, and a good mark taken by James, not Sorrell. Umpire O'Connell has called play on. Yes, he has.
Good to see.
He's tackled. Across there is Light. Vivian, Skinner. Skinner was bet too high. He'll get the free kick. Skinner on the right centre wing. Tackle too high by Light. You kick in towards attack, centre half forward. Back there is McGee, and it's all forward play by Central Districts at the moment.
And this is the difference between the two sides. Port Adelaide looking for a player and finding him more often.
Good kick by McGee. Farnham gets up in the air. Could take the mark. Yes, he's been awarded the mark. John Cale, he'd have to have a step ladder to get over the top of that fella. Big Dean Farnham, 6'9" and 18 stone 7.
That's his first kick.
First kick towards the left half forward flank. Jones is coming out a wrong way. Over there is Johns. He's given plenty of time to get rid of the ball, but umpire O'Connell claims it was being held to him, and so therefore will bounce again. left half forward flank. 1-6 Central Districts trailing Port Adelaide 3-6 at the 6-minute mark of the second quarter. The tap away from Mildy was good. They're winning in the rucks at the tap downs. Taken by Haslam, intercepted by Mildy. Plays on quickly. Swinstead fell over at the wrong time. Gasly can't control it. Had a quick hand pass out. It was a beauty to Norsworthy. Norsworthy's got the chance to drive this ball deep and long. It's a beauty. Back there is Saywell. Across there is Moore. Saywell's got the chance. He's a clever player, snaps it back over his shoulders, and this is a magic hit, and it's true for a major.
That is the goal of the day, and it'll have to be a ripper to beat it. Magnificent stuff, under pressure, staggering backwards, hooks it across his body and through from an impossible angle. A wonderful goal to take Central Districts 2 goals 6 to Port Adelaide 3 goals 6. Well done, Saywell.
He's the pick of the Central Districts forward so far as I'm concerned. And the man-to-man encounters, he's had too much toe and too much ability at this stage from McGee. McGee knows how to rough him up if he can get in close, and he's got a player knows against a player who uses his body. But Saywell's not this type. Farnham gets a terrific tap out towards Mulholland. Took his eye off the ball for a split second, paid the penalty, and it'll be another bounce getting out towards centre wing. Port Adelaide lead by 1 goal in a most interesting encounter here at Elizabeth. Tap down. Farnham wins the tap with ease. Danger signs showing up already for Port Adelaide. Taken by Vivian. Vivian's long kick down to the forward pocket. Saywell from behind. Couldn't quite pull it down. Horn's got it. Looks for a Guernsey. Smothered well there, and coming away is Ebert. He's the danger player for Port Adelaide. Didn't look for a Guernsey, and marked here by Cochrane, who easily outplayed Sorrell in the first term. Here's the kick from Cochrane towards the half-forward flank. Davis, Skinner in under the ball. I wouldn't have been surprised if he got a free kick, but evidently umpire O'Connell was satisfied that Ebert was looking for the ball. Daryl Cale with a handball on, finds his teammate in Dennis Airy, and the former state player kicks to the half-forward line. Well marked here by Nixon. I haven't seen a better game from this player for a long time.
15 yards.
Quite right, they were hanging on to Nick, so they wouldn't let him get on with the job.
Good decision. Here's the kick towards the centre of the ground. In front, Daryl Cale went before acceptances, stealing the ball. A good handball to Light. Light's dropped out of it a bit in this term. Here's his kick towards centre half forward. Nix again. He's got the ball on a string today. Just everywhere the ball is. Ooh. Central Districts player didn't want the ball then. There was no talking, as Ian told you. Vivian ran a good 10 yards, kicks it over towards the centre of the ground, marked by Farnham. Farnham with a handball to Mulholland. Ports look ragged as Central Districts go forward, down towards full forward. Ellaway missed the ball. McGee knocks it down. Tries to find Broadbridge. Clears away from the back pocket and finds Ebert. Ebert will steady. No, he doesn't. He handballs to Spencer, who I don't think really wanted it. He's kicked towards centre wing. John Cale in front takes the good mark in opposition to Swinstead. The handball on to Spencer again. He's being left in the hot seat all the time. Just got his kick in time. Knocked away by Davis. Now Nix comes into it again. Oh, he's playing great football today. Here's Nix. Here's his kick to the half-forward line. Trying to find Skinner. Skinner took the good bump there from his opponent, Port Adelaide's Beswick, the back pocket player. Coming away is Eade. Eade goes towards Daryl Cale at centre wing.
Daryl Cale gets onto a right foot, kicking down, looking there for Leon Mildy. The ball bounces off his chest, taken by Nix again. He's had a bundle of kicks. Kicks up towards the right centre wing, and it's taken by Robin Mulholland. He's won 2 Seiko watches. Can't win a third, but he could be best on the ground as he kicks towards the right half-forward flank. Across there is Saywell. Philip Horn's there also. He's got the possession of the ball, then loses control of it. Saywell shovels a quick hand pass out to the rover in Mulholland. He steadies, kicks in towards the right full forward pocket. Across there is Moore, and Moore will mark unattended.
Oh, miles away, Broadbridge. Nowhere near him. Came right across the front of goals, Moore, and it was a good piece of play. Got the breeze to help him. Let's see what he can do.
1 goal separating these two sides in favour of Port Adelaide as Moore comes in. A drop punt is on its way, right up towards the square. Back there is Big Jones. He's underneath it. Comes off hands. Across goes Norsworthy. He's a spirited rover, but he's close to the boundary line. In fact, he's out. Out a throw-in to take place in the left full forward pocket.
Yes, and Spencer, the player that made sure he was out. Ball and player knocked over the line.
Throw in. Over goes Saywell. Big Jones is there. He takes it. Gets onto his left foot. It's a beautiful snap. A magic snap. A great snap, Ollie, mate.
Well done. That's his second goal, and he came away from that pack like a rover, and bang, it goes straight through the centre, and that's the second good snap that we've seen. One from Saywell in this quarter, and that one from Jones will put a bit of heart back into the Central District side. Dead even, 3 goals, 6 each, and Central District using a 2-goal lead.
Could be the boil over to the season. It's at the Elizabeth Oval this afternoon. Scores all locked, 3-6, 3-6, 10-minute mark. Umpire O'Connell steps into the centre circle to bounce. Big Dean Farnham's in there. He gets the tap too, but it's not an effective one. Beautiful play there by Spencer to barge his way through a pack of players. Or equally good play by Cochrane to get tackled high, and he'll get the free kick. Cochrane at centre half back to repulse a Port Adelaide attack. He should kick this right out of the danger area. Runners on the ground for Port Adelaide. Not a bad kick either from Cochrane. Right up towards centre half forward. Big Farnham's in there. He's buffing it out of the road. Tries to get the push out there to Johns. He's successful. Taken by Sawell though. Sawell goes for a short kick to Mulholland. Mulholland mark. Draws a player. Gets around. Good play by Mulholland. He'll be tackled by Erie, but he's kicked. It's going to go close. Hits the post. Hits the post.
Dead centre and hits the post. And Port Adelaide, that's the second behind that Mulholland has kicked. Port Adelaide have made a change. Freeman has come to centre half forward. And let's have a look. No, Mildy is down at full forward with Crone, and I can't see what else they've done. They've got an extra player on the ball. White is down on the ball.
Galloway brings the ball back into play with a punt kick taken over there by Philip Horn. He gets emptied out of the way, and it's picked up over there by Broadbridge. Broadbridge kick is high towards the left half-back flank. Up in the air goes Casserly. Haven't seen too much of him, and it's taken there by White. White a long way out of position if he's playing at centre half forward.
No, he's on the ball.
He kicks up towards the left half forward flank. Back there is Andrews. Over the top goes Crone, but it's taken there by Darryl Cale. Could have dropped it, but Gall play on. A good decision. Taken over there by Davis. Now to Vivian. Vivian, a real speedster, kicks towards centre half forward. Philip Horn comes down. Could have taken the mark. No play on. A long hand pass from Johns was good to Sawell. Sawell has a quick look and pokes it in. Good play by Moore, but umpire O'Connell has indicated all clear. Yes, he has. And a good bit of play.
Oh, Sawell is a danger player. No doubt about it. He's got 2 goals on the board. 2 at full forward Jones, 2 at centre half forward Sawell. And his 10th kick that was Sawell, playing an extremely good game.
And a good shepherd there, Wally. By
It was a good one, wasn't it? Just enough. Nearly overdone, but the umpire allowed it. And Moore, only a youngster, did exactly the right thing.
He doesn't seem to have the answer to Sawell's game at all, and Sawell killing Port Adelaide up forward for Central Districts. The bounce at centre. Big Cochrane got the hand across the face then as he tried to get the knock away. Haslam's got it, comes to Light, drops the ball as he's tackled. Play on's called. Broadbridge with his nose over the ball. A good bump from Andrews. Light again, and it's pretty fiery out there as Light puts Port Adelaide forward. Down to the forward pocket. Looked like a square gator coming through then, did Leon Mildy. Couldn't take the ball. Taken by Peter Nix. He's having a bean feast down here in the back lines. Nearly overdid it on that occasion. Got out of it with a kick towards centre half back and finds Casserly. Casserly's all on his own. Gives the handball to Vivian. Vivian gives it to Mulholland. Mulholland, they stream forward, Central District. Down towards the half forward line. Big Jones has got the ball. I think the first or second clear mark he's taken for the day, Wally.
That's the second mark, and that's the second time that Alloway tried to outmark him, and that's dangerous. Alloway will realise his mistake and change his tactics for sure. Jones a mile out, but has the breeze, and we know the big fellow can kick.
Here's the shot from him. Important one for Central Districts. They could get well clear of Port Adelaide. It looks good off the boot. It's straight through for a major. And Central's go to 5-7.
Yards.
Port 3-6.
Well, 70 yards if it was an inch, and he got right onto that, and it went straight through the middle. Nobody even tried to jump over the top of their head. A magnificent goal to Jones, his 3rd goal, and he's a danger player. Alloway up close with him, but hasn't beaten him for mine, because if you've got 12 minutes into the second quarter, you've done a good job.
Magnificent goal, Wally. I agree with that, and to make it even more amazing, the fact was that it was a drop punt. Umpire O'Connell talking to the Port Adelaide runner. Both runners are on the ground at the moment as umpire O'Connell steps into the circle. Back there is Big Farnham, didn't get the tap. Haslam's burrowing his way through, so is Skinner. Across there is Casserly. A quick hand pass out from Northworthy was good. Over the way of Richard Davis. His kick is smothered slightly. Mulholland's behind, but it's tapped forward. Back there is Broadbridge, brilliantly picked up again by Sawell. Skinner won't put his nose over the top. Umpire O'Connell's right on top. He calls play on. Coming out there is Eade. Eade tries to bounce his way through a pack of players. It's taken again there by Vivian towards Sawell. Sawell's back there. He could have been held, though. He's holding himself. Across there is Johns. Taken away there. Free kick has gone to Johns. And just a shade lucky Central Districts to get out of that.
Well, there's a funny move on at the moment. Port Adelaide are operating without a centre half forward. Andrews all on his own at centre half back, doesn't know what to do, but he's staying there.
Johns has gone for a long kick right up towards the square to big Jeff Jones, and Moore's up there. It comes off hand, taken by Sawell, loses control, regains it, has another snap, but it's through for a point. No, they bring it out of defence, Port Adelaide, but it's out of bounds on the ball, and Port are rattled at the moment.
They're rattled all right. White's on the ball as an extra ruckman. This is a funny move, operating without one of the key positions, Port Adelaide. No centre half forward.
Mulholland will have to kick well to get this through because he's on an extremely cute angle. Has a little stab at the ball. The kick's right up towards the square. It's the point.
It must have touched it. I think the indication was it must have touched that post, and you can't go much closer. I see the Central Districts runner go out to tell Andrews what to do. Andrews right in the centre of the ground with nothing to do at the moment.
Ellaway, the fullback for Port Adelaide, will bring this ball out of the defensive area. 5-8 Central Districts to 3-6, and Central's looked apart in this second quarter. The kick from Ellaway is not a good one. Across there is Philip Horn, and the Perth player has taken the mark. Philip Horn been a very valuable acquisition for Central Districts this year and would have polled quite a few Magarey votes. He comes in with a long kick right up towards the square. Back there is Moore. It's taken away. Sale drop made one of his few mistakes, but snapped it, and he put it through for another major. His third.
Well, I tell you what, that was as quick as lightning. It hit his chest, gave him a fright, bounced off the ground, and he had it in a flash and through the centre. A magnificent goal. 3 goals to Sable at centre half forward, 3 goals to Jones at full forward, and there's the difference between the two sides. Central 6-8, Port 3-6, and Port still operating without a centre half forward.
And the goal scorers for Port Adelaide are Kale 1, that's Darrell, Ebert 1, and Mildy 1.
Wouldn't be surprised to see Port Adelaide change
I
at
think
centre
it's
half
there.
back.
I think it's there. I think Ebert's at centre half forward now.
There's the tap down. Farnham winning centre, hands down. Gets the long one down towards Johns, and Central District's doing it easy at the moment. Coming from a centre half forward position. Down to full forward. Sable in front. Oh, and there's no need for that from Lindsay McGee. Whacked him hard as he came in. Nothing in it, however. And Sable just shows him the ball, hoping that he'll tantalise him into knocking it away for a 15-yarder. But
silly play to get on with the game.
Here's the kick from Saywell. He's a long way out, but it's a good kick from him again. Go right to the square. Moore's there, and Horn's got the ball. It'd be about 15 yards out, and he should be able to whack it through for a 6-pointer from there. And as yet hasn't kicked the goal for Central.
No, well, he shouldn't miss from there. There's a ton of experience. He's got the breeze to help him. 15 yards only.
Here's his shot. He's got it, and make it hard for Port Adelaide. Centrals have got winners all over the place at the moment as they go to 7-8, leading Port Adelaide 3-6.
Well, we see in the move now that we've got Ebert at centre half forward and White's in the middle, but I can't see that doing any good because Central Districts are winning in the ruck, taking the ball away, and with Saywell and Jones on top, 3 goals each, and people like Horn bobbing up, Port Adelaide defence is where they've got to make the change for mine.
Port Adelaide runner out on the ground again, and he's getting a great cheerio from the Central Districts
I think
fans.
they're confused, Max. I don't think they know where to
They're
go.
rattled at the moment, and Central Districts playing particularly well. There's umpire O'Connell bouncing the ball, one of the rare knocks that Port Adelaide have got, and they've given away the free kick to Farnham.
Quite right, there were 2 of them having a go at him.
Here's the kick down towards the centre half forward position. John's on his own, nearly had his head knocked off, goes in towards the goals. Here's the shot, be right in the goal square. Jones is there in front, he's got it. But at the moment, Central District's doing everything right.
Well, he's taking his time as well he might, and Ellaway standing there saying, well, what have you got to do? And let's face it, Ellaway had hold of one arm then, and the big fellow hit it with one hand and then grabbed it onto the chest, and that was a good mark.
Here's the shot. Important one for Jones. He's taking all the time in the world as well he might. There's no worries about that one. He steers through his 4th goal of the day, and Centrals go to a lead of 5-2 against the side who beat them by 15-3 at their last encounter. So here's a turn up, Wally.
Well, let's not forget that it's only early in the second quarter, and it's Port Adelaide. They won't stop, but they've got to improve a lot for mine. They've got to improve at centre half back and at full back. Their defence, badly rattled, has 7 goals kicked against it, and we've played only, 19 minutes in the second quarter.
Central Districts in this second quarter have added 7 goals, 4 at the 19-minute mark. As umpire O'Connell bounces over, goes casually, taps at a booming one, and they're off again. The Skinner goes down with courage. Good, well played. Sale had a quick look. Well, he might. Erie came through with plenty of speed. Across there is Ebert. Port Adelaide bewildered at the moment. As down coming across there is Beswick. He's tackled. James is up there. James on the right centre wing. Goes for a hand pass. Looking over there for a teammate. Winstead missed Keeley. Keeley goes for one-handed flick. It's taken there by Farnham. Farnham doesn't know what to do with it. Gets it to Cochran. Cochran kicks forward and it's taken by Norsworthy. Norsworthy could have played on but decided against it, and wisely so. He'll go for a steadying kick towards the left half forward flank, and out comes Moore, and Moore's taken the mark. He's got the chance to kick on to Mulholland, decides to kick towards centre half forward, looking for the big fella, and Jones and Horn together. Across goes the back of the pack. It'll be brought away by Eade. Eade towards the left centre wing, looking for a teammate over there in Sorrell. Across there is Richard Davis. Bruce Light backs up. Vivian's in there also. He held him off. Good work there by Andrews to cart through. Well played by Vivian again. Central Districts kick it forward, looking for Philip Horn, and he'll take the mark. Philip Horn on the right half forward flank, and Central Districts answering every Port Adelaide challenge in this second quarter.
20-minute mark, second term.
Philip Horn on the right half forward flank. To date, he's kicked 1. could kick the distance, will kick the distance, but whether he can kick the accuracy, we'll have to wait and see. The kick is a long one, right up towards the square. Behind is Moore, couldn't take it. Brought away there is Broadbridge. He's kicks it out, taken by Johns. Johns has got the chance to kick through for a major. He kicked a little too hurriedly as he had a player coming at him, but it's through for a point.
Gee, well, I tell you what, this is good football in Central Districts in this quarter. They've done all the attacking. Their handball has been beautiful, and one of the reasons is they're taking the ball away from centre consistently. Big Farnham hitting out beautifully from the centre and setting the play up. Casserly, Horn, Saywell and Jones at full forward in it also.
Illaway looking for Ebert. Over there is Johns. Ebert up in the air, taken away here off hands by Mulholland. Got a good kick from Mulholland. Should have straightened up. Back there is Jones using his body. That was a beautiful mark. A grand mark.
Magnificent mark. His eye on the ball all the way. And if you don't punch it away like a sledgehammer, you've got no chance with this fellow. It's no pussyfoot. You've got to punch it or he marks it. And that was a beauty.
Sheer strength, Wally, because he backed into Illaway, and Illaway's no slouch.
That's right.
Jones now on the right full forward pocket, slight angle, should put it through for a major, comes in, deliberate shot, and yes, he's put it through for his fifth. A good performance.
Well, 5 goals, and we've gone 21 minutes into the second quarter. That's 5 for Jones, 3 to Saywell, 8 from their centre half forward, full forward combination. Magnificent football by Central Districts.
Elton Trout's looking very happy with himself at the moment because, like myself, we selected Central Districts to win out here this afternoon. But there's a long way to go. There's a good last half and 8 minutes left of this first half. As umpire O'Connell comes into the centre circle, 9-9 Central, 3-6 Port Adelaide. And there's a tremendous crowd, wild with excitement as Keith Spencer comes away, thumps it away. Down comes Johns. He's got some toe too. He gets a quick hand pass in. Looking over for Norsworthy. Norsworthy hand passes over to Casserly. Casserly's got the chance to go down. He's got it too. He's onto his left foot. Kicks up towards the square. Back there is Mulholland. Mulholland has the ball knocked away from him, but Norsworthy snaps. It's going to go through. It's off the maker, and Centrals have gone berserk, and so are their supporters.
Well, I'll tell you what, you can do it no better than that. Mulholland and Norsworthy, one shot bang through the centre, and this is good football. And one of the reasons Port Adelaide in trouble, even in charge in the first quarter, has dropped out completely in this quarter, has only had 3 kicks, and we've played 24 minutes in the second quarter. All Central Districts with the breeze, Miles in front, 10-9, leading Port Adelaide 3-6. And Ports at the moment have not got one winning position.
Port Adelaide badly rattled at the moment. Haven't got anything from their rovers at all. The rucks are being soundly beaten, and of course this is the main part of the reason. Look at Farnham, he's winning him at ease, gets it out towards Vivian. Vivian's tackled hotly, the handball's good again, finds Mulholland, he blocks it off the boot well, comes to Davis. You've got winners wherever they look at the moment. Light gets into the back of Davis, keep pegging away at him, pushes it out towards the half-forward line, and Port Adelaide are going to get a free kick on the half-forward left flank.
Just at the moment, it's the only way they can get a kick.
Here's the kick from the half-forward left flank into the forward pocket. 2 Port Adelaide Guernseys there. Broadbridge from the back. Tries to play on, does so, finds his teammate Spencer. Spencer shoots it in towards the goals. This is the first time Port Adelaide have attacked for ages. Goes across the face of the goal. Andrews with a strong bump. Picked up here, snapped in by James, and 1 point is the result.
I think it was Peter White that snapped that one in. It wasn't a bad effort either, but we haven't seen much of him in this quarter. I think he's been confused. He didn't know whether to go on the ball, go in the centre, or go centre half forward there for at least 10 minutes. And it's a badly rattled Port Adelaide side at the moment.
24-minute mark of the second term. You're viewing on Channel 9. Don't forget our Channel 9 footy show at 12 noon tomorrow. You'll see Dennis Jones and John Cale. Over the head of the pack, it comes to Broadbridge. Hand pass away. Taken by Swinstead. His handball. Hard passage of football. Taken by Cochrane. He loses the ball. John Cale drops it onto his boot. Goes towards centre half forward. The big chap Farnham's there.
Aye.
Good football. Handballs away to Mulholland. Oh, he knew there was a player there. Good football. Gave it over to Skinner. Skinner goes to the half forward line, and McGee does one of the rare things right in this term and stops Saywell marking. He clears from the half-back line up towards centre wing.
Philip Vaughan sets himself, could have taken the mark, but umpire O'Connell calls play on. Picked up there by Skinner, hand pass to Andrews. Andrews will kick forward, looking for Casserly. Casserly shots it forward with one hand. Good play through by Casserly. Up the way up more. Central Districts can do no wrong at the moment. Close to the boundary line it's gone. In fact, it's gone out of bounds on the left half-forward flank as the needle comes into the time-on period of this second quarter. Moore's back there for Central Districts. He'll be opposed by Keith Spencer. Been a great player for Port Adelaide, Keith Spencer, not having his greatest seasons this year though. Umpire, the boundary umpire, sets himself to throw it back into play. Castley gets on the front spot, tries to tap it back over his head. Ebert's across there, can't pick it up there. Broadbridge is in. Gets a hand pass over to Spencer. He's tackled there by Castley. Castley goes after it, but so does Spencer. Castley knocks it on to Mulholland. Mulholland works his way back through the pack, kicks it forward, but it'll be taken back there by Teely.
Well, we're seeing some strange moves. We've got Dennis Airy on the half-forward flank and Darryl Cale half-back flank.
Teely kicks a drop punt in towards the centre. Big Farnham's in there. He'll go over the top of the pack to take the mark. Big Dean Farnham on the left half-forward flank.
And he's been more than a useful player. He's picked up a few kicks, taken a couple of marks and controlled the centre bounces 100% for mine.
Farnham now on the half-forward flank. Comes in with a long kick towards the square. It'll fall short. Spencer will take the mark in defence. No one at the bottom, at the front of the pack there for Central Districts.
Central's lead by 7-2.
Spencer goes for a pinpointing kick to find Darryl Cale. He's found him too. He plays on quickly. Cochran and Sorrell. Cochran works his way to the front. A great mark taken by this youngster. He plays on quickly, looks for Skinner and finds Skinner. Skinner, hopelessly beaten in the first quarter, is putting in a good one now.
Yes, he's played well and Ebert has dropped completely out of the game.
Skinner comes in with a long kick. He's not a bad kick either. Right up the way of Jones. Jones on the front puck. Can't take it. Taken by Spencer though. Looks for Teely and finds his player. Teely comes away with a short kick. Looking up there for Broadbridge. It's a low one. Taken by Broadbridge. Tried to be smothered. Andrews there and Voigt. And Voigt's a great player. He plays on quickly. Andrews can't kick to him. Voigt's away. Look at him go. 1, 2, 3 bounces. He's gone a long way. 45 yards. Another bounce. Another bounce again. He's gone 55 to 60 yards. There goes a long kick. It's right up towards the square. Back there is Cale. Cale couldn't take it. Back there is Nix. Nix works its way towards the boundary line. Across there is Dennis Airy. Dennis Airy's got players coming at him. Goes for a short kick in towards the goal. And it's through and you can put that down to White.
No doubt about that. He ran 30, 40 yards and just missed. And John Cale misses it. And Airy, who's been shifted from the half-back flank where he's been beaten, picks it up and kicks a nice goal. And a handy one because Port Adelaide have not looked the part at all. 4 goals, 7. Trailing badly, Central Districts 10-9.
There it took a Port Adelaide half-back flanker to score their first goal for a long, long time, and in fact their first for the quarter. And that happened at the 2.5 minute mark of the time on period in the second term. You're viewing on Channel 9. Farnham got bowled over. Thought he should have had a free kick. It's forced out towards centre wing. Doesn't matter because Central Districts go forward anyway through Davis. Davis is the meat in the sandwich. Tackled by Sorrell, taken to the ground, holding the ball decision, goes against him. And for the moment, at any rate, the Central Districts onslaught has ceased temporarily. There's the kick to the half-forward line. Broadbridge would be one of Port Adelaide's best. He keeps on trying all the time, but that wasn't one of his best moves as he kicks out on the full.
3 minute mark of the time on period.
Johns to bring the ball from the half-back right flank for Central Districts up towards centre wing. Central Districts have got winners all over the ground at the moment as they come up to this position. Spencer from the back of the pack appeared to hold this one. He'll put Port Adelaide forward. He's been struggling hard. No, the mark is to go to Broadbridge, the player I mentioned a moment ago. Would probably have had as many touches as any Port Adelaide player at the stage.
Had
11th kick. Here's his kick towards the half-forward flank and marked here in defence by Johns. Johns for Central Districts through leave for Centrals. His kick towards centre wing, mixed there by Broadbridge, picked up by Port Adelaide's Beswick, the centre wing, the back pocket player. Lindsay McGee looks hopelessly slow today. Was lucky he didn't go for holding the ball. Mulholland the player with the ball, and it's a throw in at centre wing. Mulholland, as we told you earlier in the commentary, won 2 Seiko watches this year. Throw in on the far side. Big Farnham gets up. Spencer jumped in front of him, comes down, and it's kicked away by Eade, one of his rare kicks. His kick to the half-forward line. Pushed away from Andrews, thumped down, taken by Horn. Horn with a handball away, comes past Sorrell, taken by Cochran. Cochran winning that position hands down, kicks towards centre half forward, and McGee starting to stage something of a comeback at centre half back. He'll clear from this position, and for the moment, Port seem to have temporarily steadied anyway. Big Cochran pushed over as he was trying to mark the ball. Picked up by Vivian, knocked off the ball. Light trying hard, gets the ball moving down towards the half-forward line for Port Adelaide. A hand pass from Sorrell was good to Haslam, but the Rovers haven't been sighted this quarter at all. His handball back finds Light. Light's left-footed to the full-forward position. Johnny Cale, who's making too many mistakes. He's a lucky boy for mine to get a free kick up at full forward.
Well, given a free kick, and the sign given by the umpire was for the elbow, but not the mark.
Here's his shot for goal. An important one for Port Adelaide. They're trailing badly and need goals quickly. Right to the full forward position. Punched away by Crone. Comes to James. Forced out of bounds in the forward pocket. And as we get onto the siren for the end of the second term, Central's lead 10 goals 9, leading Port Adelaide 4-7.
Big Mildy goes up there, takes it, has a shot, snap at the goals, and this will be close. No, it's going to come off. Taken back there by Johns. Johns decides to cut it through for a point. and Port Adelaide go on now to 4 goals 8, trailing Central Districts 10-9.
Interesting to note that Central District, the first time, as I understand it, they're wearing their new lace-up Guernseys, and if it can do this for them, they'd want a new set every week.
Crone brings the ball back into play. Across goes Cochrane. Couldn't take the mark, but Spencer takes possession of the ball. He'll head off towards the goals with a long kick. Looking across there for Mildy. Well knocked away there by Spans. Spans and Mildy go after it. Spans has got the difficult job of getting around Mildy. Mildy goes for a hand pass back, looking for a teammate, but it's taken away there in defence by Crone. Goes for a right-footed kick towards the half-back flank. Across there is Robin Mulholland, and so is Eade, but the ball is bounced out of bounds in the right centre wing, and a throw-in will take place at the 6-minute mark of the time-on period of the second quarter. Central Districts 10 goals 9, leading Port Adelaide 4 goals 8. That'll be a great shot in the arm for the Central District supporters if Centrals can hang on and win this game. Big Farnham's there. He'll do everything right. He kicks towards the centre half forward position. Saywell from behind. Could have interfered, but a good decision by umpire O'Connell to call play on. Back there is Skinner. Across there is Norsworthy. Norsworthy kicking in danger, and so the free kick will go to Lindsay McGee.
Central Districts in this term have kicked 9 goals 5, which is an excellent effort.
Darryl Cale goes for the kick instead. Gets it over the way of Eade. Vivian goes down there. Vivian comes away, gets tackled by Bruce Light. The hand pass was brilliantly taken there by Spencer. Spencer's got all the time in the world to bounce his way down. The hand pass is good to Broadbridge, looking for that player. It's bounced awkwardly. Spencer backs up. Good play by Port Adelaide. Look better now, but Spencer could have overdone it. Across there is Davis. He takes it away, kicks up, looking for and finds Johns. Johns has got the chance to hand pass to Mulholland. Mulholland's got a paddock in front of him. He carts off with a long kick down. Across comes Saywell. Oh, courage. Brilliant play there by Teely. Teely charges his way through to Mulholland's there. Casserly gets a hand and throw. Backhanded throw there by Tony Casserly, and there goes the siren now to end a brilliant passage of play by Central Districts. A great second quarter. The scoreboard reading: Central Districts 10 goals 9, Port Adelaide 4 goals 8. You're viewing the match of the day on Channel 9.
About to commence in the final term here at Elizabeth. A great game. Port Adelaide have got a player loose in defence. That's what they think about the breeze. It's their turn to kick against. It's taken by Vivian. Vivian goes across the face of the goals, out towards the half-back line. John Cale's got the ball, made the yard, kicks it around his body. Swinstead's gelling on the ball. Coming down to meet him is Darryl Cale. Darryl Cale tries to block the handball. John chips in again for Port Adelaide. It'll be a throw-in at centre wing. Port Adelaide and Central Districts in the match of the day here at the Elizabeth Ground. Has been a great tussle, 4 points the difference. Central's leading after Central's led by 7 goals at one stage, but they've got the breeze in the final term. Norsworthy took one around his head as he went to the ground and naturally gets the free kick. No good Port Adelaide hollering about that one. There's the kick towards centre half forward. McGee stations himself in front. He's the meat and sandwich. Offhand comes to Ebert, who's played his game in patches. Kicks towards centre half forward. Knocked away by Eric Freeman. Off the ground, taken by Norsworthy. Going into attack there for Port Adelaide is Sorrell. Sorrell pushes it into the forward pocket. Nix has got the ball. Handballs over to Norsworthy. Smothered off the boot. Port Adelaide trying desperately to get the goal, to get them in front down there in their forward lines, but it'll be a throw-in. Umpire Max O'Connell in charge here today, and he's done a good job. Crowds really enjoyed the football. The biggest crowd I've yet seen at the Elizabeth Oval. Mildy got up very high, got the thump down. It's taken by Andrews, picked up by Spencer, who really lifted his game in that third term. Vivian with intelligent handball, a long handball, a miss by Cochrane, taken by Ebert. Ebert kicks into the forward pocket. It's Central District Guernsey there, and marked by Peter Nix, who had a great first half for the Bulldogs. Centrals, if they win this one today, and they'd be odds-on favourite from their position at the moment, leading 4 points with the breeze at their back, could still be an outsider for the final 4. They'd have to do everything right, but if they play the way today, Sorrell punches the ball away. The whistle has gone for a free kick, and Big Farnham will get it.
Farnham, a more than useful player, a very, very handy player for Central Districts in the first half. Beaten by Spencer in the third quarter. A lot depends on him in this last one.
He'll go towards the centre of the ground. In front, Ebert. Oh, he missed the mark. Missed a fairly easy one. It's knocked out by Saywell, holding the ball, says umpire O'Connell, and the free to be taken by Eade. Eade, haven't seen a great deal of this chap on the half-back line. Kicks towards centre half forward. Oh, Freeman got up high, couldn't take the mark, knocked it on intelligently. John Cale will knock it on to Light, who's had a shocking day. Now he's got it, a left footer down into the forward pocket, in front Crone, and he takes a great courageous mark in defence.
It was with Spencer coming straight at him front on.
Goes straight out towards the boundary to find Vivian, who's had that knack of getting off on his own all day. Light comes to meet him, that was his player, and handball away to Peter Nix. Nix, one of his best games this year, kicks up towards centre wing, the ball running down to the half-forward line. Here's the player playing at the pivot still presumably, but playing on the half-back line. Ebert gets it over, finds Haslam. Haslam wheels around, nobody bothered to check him, a little bit loose from Centrals there as the Magpies drive in towards centre half forward. Cale couldn't make that yard then. It was very noticeable as Swinstead came away with the ball from centre half back. Kicks it up towards the centre of the ground to Skinner. They're hanging on to him, hasn't got the ball. I thought the whistle went, but no. Sorrell's now got the ball for Port Adelaide, and at the 3-minute mark of the final term, umpire O'Connell will have a bounce. Central's 12-10 lead Port Adelaide 11-12 by 4 points.
Farnham gets up, gets the taps, taken away here by Mulholland. He hand passes over to Davis. Davis on the right centre wing goes for a good drop kick right up towards the right full forward pocket. Saywell's back there, and Saywell's taken the mark. Undecided, plays on quickly, shoots it back to Norsworthy. Good play by Saywell, has found Norsworthy in a better position. The distance.
And they're at half forward, and what would you do? Big Jones right back in the square, and if he can do the distance, a goal. Now he's gone for the short pass, and he's found Casserly at centre half forward. Well done, Casserly. He's got the breeze. He's an experienced player. If he can drive it right down there, Jones has a chance, or a goal would put a lot of heart into this Central District side.
Very loose defence there by the ruckman for Port Adelaide, who should have followed their men down, and it was Casserly able to sneak off on his own.
55 yards out now, the captain of Central Districts, Tony Casserly, goes for a kick. It's not a good one either. It'll fall short. Up there is Jones, couldn't get to it. Across there is Mulholland, gets a hand pass out. Across there is Jones, Ellaway, the two big heavyweights go out towards the half-back flank. Up goes Cochran, and a brilliant mark taken there by Russell Ebert.
Oh, it's a good player, this fellow. Straight through two players to get that.
He goes for a kick looking for Broadbridge. Broadbridge took a difficult mark, a good mark, to hold it down.
See him get the leg up in front to protect himself, Wally.
Comes around onto his left foot, kicks it up towards centre half forward. Up goes Nix, and there's a good mark taken by the vice-captain, Peter Nix. He plays on quickly. Looks out there for Casserly. Casserly in the centre position. Goes up in the air. Got it knocked away from him. Mulholland's across on the right half forward flank. He's got all the field to go to kick towards Saywell. Saywell getting away now in this last quarter. Again from McGee has taken the mark. He's got Johns at centre half forward if he wants to kick to him, but he decides to quieten it down a little and kick for distance.
McGee was on him in the first half, and Saywell killed him when he kicked 4 goals, and for a short term in the third term, it was Airy went on to Saywell, did better.
Saywell's kick is not a good one. Up goes Jones, couldn't take the mark, but he's held it down in the right full forward pocket, and a throw-in to take place in this position.
Port Adelaide have got Freeman at centre half forward. James at full forward, and White loose on the ball.
The breeze is strong in the right full forward pocket in favouring Central District's end. As up in the air goes McGee, taps it forward looking for Darryl Cale. He's on the boundary line going away. Northworthy tackles him, keeps the pressure on. That's good play. Battling across there, players in Beswick. An interference takes place, and umpire O'Connell is going to award a free kick in favour of the Bulldogs. The player to take it, Barry Norsworthy, the rover.
They've had the ball there a long while. They want a goal. They want to get this goal on the board. 12-10 Central Districts 82, 11-12 Port 78. There's still only 4 points to difference.
Central Districts kicked 9 goals with the breeze in the second term. Port Adelaide replied by kicking 7 goals with the breeze in the third term.
Norsworthy coming in to kick for distance. It's not a bad looking kick either off the boot. It'll go right up towards the line. Players back there, and it could be
a goal.
It's through, is it? Yes, Mr. Major. Ollie May.
There's the one, and that was a good goal. He really meant that, lifted it right up, and the breeze made the difference. And Norsworthy, a very, very handy goal. He's second on the board. Put Central District to 13-10, 88. Port Adelaide 11-12, 78. 10 points the difference, and Central District using a 2 to 3 goal breeze.
As Wally May told you, that was the goal that they needed, and I agree with him. I think Port Adelaide will be really struggling to get out from there. In fact, I'd say they can't. Vivian's got the ball, kicks it high at centre. Ebert tries to knock it forward, comes to Tearley. Tearley with a left footer, out wide to the half forward flank. Good soil there by Central District, knocked away from Bruce Light. Play-on's called by the umpire, and eventually ball up. 13-10 Centrals, Port Adelaide 11-12. We're at the 7-minute mark of the final term. Big Farnham got the tap, blocked by Light, missed by Light. Now he's got it again. Looks for somebody to give it to. A long handball under pressure, and it went straight to Andrews, the centre half back. His kick towards the centre of the ground. Airy from the back of the pack takes the good mark. We put Port Adelaide forward. Here's his kick towards centre half forward. Nobody there, and Andrews again will relieve.
He played well, Andrews.
Freeman's form today. Not 100%. There's the kick towards centre wing. Up they go offhand. Saywell, a great player for Centrals today. Gives it to Johns. Johns steadies. Kicks towards the half-forward line. Ebert, there was nearly a misunderstanding between he and Port Adelaide's Eade then. Eade called him, I think.
Cochran off and Cochran on.
There's the kick towards the half-forward line. Knocked down by Centrals. Good football taken by Skinner. Skinner kicks towards centre half forward, running in towards a fairly open goal. Ellaway flashes into the play, knocks it out. Casserly is danger, but he's kicked it too wide. Big Jones is out there. Shepherd's off, tries to knock the ball back, taken by Port Adelaide's Beswick. He goes to the ground. Ellaway tackles hotly, and umpire O'Connor will come in and bounce at the 8-minute mark, with Central Districts leading by 10 points in the match of the day from Channel 9 at the Elizabeth Oval.
Taken away here by Jones, tries to shovel a hand pass out. It was an ill-directed one. Across goes Bruce Light. Bruce Light steadies and kicks out, looking for his captain in John Cale. He waits for the ball to bounce up with him. A shade lucky too. Across there was Barnum, tried to smother it off. It goes forward, knocked away in defence. Back there is Winstead. Winstead's got the field in front of him. The hand pass back to Davis. Good play. Davis steps and sets it forward and kicks Vivian. Finds Vivian on the right centre wing. Vivian holding up play for Central District. Saywell leading on the right half forward flank, and that's the way that Vivian's going to go to, and he's been brilliant, Saywell.
Yes.
And I think Saywell would have to take this take-o for mine.
Well, that's interesting because Wally May earlier in the game went for Big Jones.
Saywell kicks up, looking for Casserly, and finds Casserly, and his has been a useful performance this afternoon. I've seen better games from Tony Casserly, but it's been an intelligent one. He goes for a short kick, looking up there for Philip Horn, but taken away in defence by Eade. Eade, the left footer, buries his boot into it. Under there is Barnum. Up over the top goes Freeman. It's kicked forward towards the half-forward flank, and again taken by Casserly on his knees. Tony Casserly, captain of Central Districts,
has been a valuable player. What kicks he has got, he's used well. He's kicking the ball instead of handballing, but a poor kick that time.
It's a bad kick, but it's taken here by Skinner. Skinner's got a short kick on, looking for Saywell. Saywell will get the chance to take the mark,
yes.
and Saywell has got it too. He plays on quickly, goes for a short kick, a beautiful kick, and it's hit more on the chest. And Central Districts are showing plenty of skill in this last quarter.
And for any football coaches watching this one today, the player to beat McGee in the finals will be the player that moves around, as Saywell does. He has killed McGee today.
Moore now on the left half forward flank with a steady kick right up towards the square. This will go close. Big Jones is up there. It comes off hands and through for a point. Central Districts move up to 13 goals 11. Port Adelaide 11 goals 12. Your comment, Wally May.
Saywell, I will agree. I'll change my mind. Jones hasn't done much in the last quarter, but Saywell consistent at the moment, leads for the Seiko watch for mine.
And mine, so he's got it.
Ellaway kicks towards the half-back flank. Underneath it is Broadbridge. Over the top goes Big Barnum. Barnum takes a couple of bites and it's taken away there by Northworthy. A long kick goes up towards the square and they'll win it. Central Districts, no shadow of doubt.
That's the third goal for Northworthy to make him a very, very handy rover. Off the front of the pack, one look, bang through the centre, and the life has come back into the Central District side. They're using the breeze well. Port Adelaide can't do a thing about it. They've got their best attacking player in White. One kick behind in defence. They have got Freeman at centre half forward. And I think there's a change on. Yes, McGee arguing with the runner, and White has gone to centre half back.
Yeah, that's understandable. There's Big Farnham, gets the tap down, taken by Johns. Johns is kicked down towards the half forward line. McGee there on his own, and he'll mark this one at centre half back.
Well, I thought McGee was heading off the ground for mine then.
Here's his kick away up towards the centre of the ground. Hits Spencer on the chest, nearly took the good mark. The hand pass away from Davis finds Vivian. Vivian hooks it back towards Skinner, and Skinner at centre half forward with a handball across his good football. Gives it to the skipper in Casserly. Casserly's kick is a bad one off, or is it? He may have seen Horn out there in the forward pocket. No, says Ian Aitken. What do you say, Wally?
Fluke.
Thank you.
Right,
Let's fix that up. Outvoted 2-1.
Coming
Yes,
onto the ground now is...
No, he's waiting to get McGee, and McGee is refusing to come off. They're going to have to grab him and pull him off. He's heading up towards the behind post now, and the runner's after him. He told the runner where to go just a little while ago, and I don't think he was complimentary of that good.
And there's a kick from Philip Horn, but it's gone through for a point. It's not good from here, but it's a point.
McGee is off now, and number 12 is on for Port Adelaide. Nyland on, McGee off. White is at centre half back. McGee thrashed soundly by the Seiko Watch winning award to Saywell.
Ellaway brings the ball back into play, decides to go straight down the middle of the ground. Up goes Casserly and takes the mark at centre half forward position. And it's been a good captain's game this afternoon from Tony Casserly.
Quite right, going for the ball, not patting it on, but marking it and kicking it, and he's played well. We've seen better games from a lot of players, but now experience showing, taking his time. He can do the distance, and he knows he's got Big Jones down there if he can't.
Centrals have got this 1-1 at the 12-minute mark. 3 goals in front. Could go to a 4-goal lead.
There's a long kick from Casserly, right up towards the square. It's knocked away by Ellaway. There's the Rovers there for Central Districts and Mulholland. He's going to have to kick with his left foot. It's not a bad-looking kick, but it comes off the side. Back there is Jones. Saywell's over there, nearly took a good mark, but it came off his hands and it's through for a point. And out of bounds. Throw in to take place. Right full forward pocket. Jones is in there. Also Ellaway of Port Adelaide. Castley, Broadbridge, big pack of players. Spencer, great leap, gets up in the air. Taken away in defence there by Eade. Looking out there for Light. Light towards the left half back flank. Vivian's over there. The two speedsters, racehorses together, go out of bounds and a throw in to take place.
Vivian's been the more valuable contribution today, and here's in our Channel 9 screen, Lindsay McGee coming off for Port Adelaide, as Wally told you, didn't want to come off the ground, but he had a thrashing today from Dennis Saywell.
Barnum takes the ball away from the pack. They look the part now. Look at the kick from Barnum. It's a boomer right up towards the square. Back there is Jones. I think it goes through. Saywell's back there, but he couldn't get the boot to it. It's through for a point.
Well, if that had gone through and that nearly did, that would have been the goal of the day. Big Farnham got his own hit out, headed off like a rover at 50 yards and just misses, and it's all Central Districts. There's nothing Port Adelaide can do at the 12.5-minute mark.
As Ellaway comes back into play, they're 3-1 in front, Central Districts. This will go close to going out. No, it doesn't. Barnum gets the tap in. It's taken away by Bruce Light, though. He goes for a short kick. Across goes Castley. Castley won't get to it. Knocked down hard. It's intercepted again by Castley. Castley playing a brilliant game now. He kicks in towards the square. A long way looking for the big fella and Moore. And Moore's taken the mark. And Central Districts have got this game shot to the world.
Yes, good mark that one. A beauty in front. Showing experience that he doesn't have. He's only a youngster. He knows where to get a good pair of hands.
Halfway mark, final term coming up as Moore sets himself. Comes in very carefully, dropped it very carefully. That was a good shot, that one. And he's found it. Good effort there from Moore. And another major to Central Districts, and they go further ahead. They've got the 2 points that they want. This will bring them back into final four calculations, particularly as it looks as though the Bays have been beaten handsomely today by West Torrens. So Central Districts coming back into final four calculations. You're viewing the match of the day on Channel 9. Don't forget our Channel 9 footy show at 12 noon tomorrow, hosted by Elton Crouch, Dennis Jones and John Cale in to tell you about this great game. Bounce at centre, knocked away by Farnham as he's done all day. Comes to Daryl Cale, nose over the ball. He drops the ball as he's tackled. No, says the umpire, it was knocked from his grasp and it'll be a bounce. Goes in now, bounces. Light gets the thump down. Taken here by the other Cochrane for Central Districts, number 33, trying to knock it on. Taken by Robin Mulholland. Another good game from him today. Hooks it out looking for Cochrane on the half-forward flank. Bounces awkwardly for him. Comes to Norsworthy. Gives it back to Cochrane. Vivian, he steadies down to the forward pocket. Port Adelaide is shot to pieces. Horn, there wasn't anyone within 30 yards of him as he shoots for goal. And 1 point the difference. Central's lead 15-14 to Port Adelaide's 11-12.
And there's a lot of life gone out of the Port Adelaide side. They spent themselves in the third quarter when it was a good effort to get back. Spencer's dropped into a hole.
Yep.
White in defence, I can't understand that because he's an attacking player and there's nothing up forward at all. Dylan at centre half forward against Andrews, who has played well.
In fairness to them, they haven't had the ball down there, so there's no point in leaving White there. There's the kick towards the half-back line. White went without the ball there, taken here by Ebert. His first quarter was the best when Ports were leading. Here's his kick away to the half-back line. Broadbridge takes the heavy tumble, opposition from Cochrane, and he'll take the free kick at half-back right. He's had a lot of possessions today for Port Adelaide. A good game from Broadbridge. Here's his kick towards centre wing, coming from the back. Nick's the best game I've seen from this chappie since he's been with Central Districts today. He's had the ball on the string and he's killed the resting rover for Port Adelaide on that half-forward line. Age starting to show up a little bit there. Throw in right in front of our Channel 9 broadcasting point. I'd repeat what I said earlier, that Cunningham must be a mighty unlucky rover not to be able to get into this Port Adelaide side from the last time we saw him. There's Big Farnham, gets the back knock. Look at it, brilliant play. Over to Norsworthy, over to Skinner. Skinner's kick from the centre of the ground, right down to full forward. Coming from the side, Saywell couldn't pull it down. Taken here by Eade. Eade hooks it with the left footer out towards the back pocket. Look at him make a yard. Mulholland, he's got tons of speed. Gets to the ball, sells the dummy beautifully. Handball's back after drawing the player. Horn had a look. Handball now. Out to the side, trying to find Mulholland. He's got it again, goes this way, that way. He could get caught, but eventually gets the handball away. And the score here at Elizabeth Central's 15-14, 104 points lead Port, 11-12, 78, and it's 17 minutes gone in the final term.
Throw in, across goes Farnham. He's showing some run in his legs as well in this last quarter. Gets up and it's taken by Mildy. Mildy's rucking performance has been good this afternoon. Don't overlook that. But Port Adelaide worked the ball out of defence, but it's gone out of bounds, and a free kick will go to Vivian. Vivian, the speedster, he shaded Bruce Light this afternoon. He'll kick in towards the centre full forward position, looking for Big Gary Jones. That's the way it's gone. Jones is in there and Ellaway. Jones in front, couldn't take the mark. The ball on the ground. Back there is Eade, couldn't get the kick in. Coming away now is Eade, in towards the square, up towards the centre, but Cochrane is marked, and Cochrane takes a good one. Nyland's on his mark. There's the opportunity to kick towards Skinner, but Cochrane decides to steady up play at the 18-minute mark of this last quarter. Elton Crouch and Ian Aitken can certainly pick the winners. Just forward of the centre circle, the kick from Cochrane goes towards the left half forward flank. Across goes Jones. Oh, back there is Ellaway. Saywell took it a little too casually. Plenty of time there for Spencer to come, Voigt to come away. He bounces, steadies and kicks it towards the right half-back flank with a good kick too, but up goes Swinstead. He can't take the mark, it's on the ground. Across there is Sorrell. Swinstead pushes the hand pass out to Skinner. Skinner's in there, so is Broadbridge, so is Kale, and umpire O'Connell will bounce. Temper's a little frayed, but there's nothing in it. Bounce down again, and Farnham by G's ruck well this afternoon, and so is Mildy. Mildy got it over to Ebert. Ebert sets the kick on the way up towards James, and James is marked at centre half forward. Davis is there. James kicks right up towards the square. Back behind there is Spans. So is the big fella in Freeman, but they all go off without it, with except of Spans. Spans brings it out of the attack, kicks towards a half-back flank, but Port Adelaide through James take the mark. James, a half-forward flanker, a useful footballer, a good footballer. Kicks forward, up goes Crone, knocks it away. Good play, taken here by Nix. He sharks it, kicks it up there towards, looking for his teammate Vivian. The ball bounces past that player. James is over there, so is Vivian. James has got some toe too, I can tell you that. He kicks up towards the left half-forward flank, looking for Rossi Haslam. The ball bounces awkwardly, but he's got it. Could have dropped it. Umpire O'Connell calls play on. Andrews has got it. It's been a brilliant performance by Andrews this afternoon. He kicks down, and Philip Horn stands his ground, but loses control. Coming away in defence there is Beswick. Beswick with a left foot kicks it high. Back there is Andrews. He gets the front spot on Broadbridge. Taps it down brilliantly to Davis. Good play. Davis towards centre half forward to looking for Johns. He can't mark the ball. Coming down hard is Voigt. He's a good footballer, Voigt. He kicks up towards centre half forward. Back there is Crone. It bounces away. Castley there to lend a hand. A great captain's game. Over to Crone. Crone steadies. Kicks it right up towards the left half forward flank. Looking for the Seiko winner. And he's got it. Zabel plays on quickly to Johns. Johns will mark at centre half forward and go back and have a big kick.
One of the best kicks in the side, and he could just about, no, he wouldn't make the distance, but he'll put it right to the square. He won't do that. He's seen the lead in the forward pocket. Looks for Jones over his head. Comes down towards Moore. Moore trying to hook it back, and Port Adelaide intent through Tearley and kicking it out, which they do. Central's 15-14, 104 points. Lead Port Adelaide 11-12, 78 at the 20-minute mark. Central Districts have got the 2 points wrapped up already. Here's the ball coming down to Haslam. He goes back into a tight turn, kicks away from the back pocket towards the half-back line. Cochrane and Sorrell. Sorrell is spoilt, recovered beautifully. His kick is not a particularly good one. Comes towards Castley, traps the ball down in front of him. He's had a great second half, gives it to Skinner, back to Castley, and they're playing with Port Adelaide now as he kicks it wide and finds Horn again, and it wasn't any fluke that time.
No, sir. He meant that, and Horn in the right place. Castley to Horn. This has happened 2 or 3 times today, and opposite. Horn has also found Castley. They've been very, very handy players. Castley very good in the last quarter.
Central's lead by 3-5. Not a good kick, however, from Horn. May have gone down out on the full. No, must have just landed inside the boundary line. And a throw in the forward pocket.
Castley's pulled a groin muscle.
Don't forget our Channel 9 footy show at 12 noon tomorrow. We'll have Dennis Jones and John Cale in to discuss this great game from Elizabeth. The biggest crowd we've yet seen here, must be well over 10,000. Tearley to clear for Port Adelaide from the back pocket up towards the half-back line. Horn flashing in from the side, the former Western Australian player. Handball on towards Robin Mulholland. He couldn't hook it back from the boundary line. He's had a great game today. 1-2 Seiko watches this year, and his teammate Dennis Saywell will receive one on the Channel 9 footy show tomorrow Sunday. From the throw-in, comes towards Light. Light's got the ball now, and from the back pocket, clears for Port Adelaide, up towards centre wing. In front, Nyland tried to pull down the big mark. He replaced McGee a moment ago. Andrews playing well in this final term, as Wally told you. Comes to Castley. Castley shanks it down to full forward, and on the last line of defence, Spencer, who played such a great game for Port Adelaide in the third quarter. They were annihilated in the rucks in the first half. He lifted his game, really sprung high to combat the big chap Farnham, and that's the player I just mentioned, marking the ball now.
Very, very consistent performance. He's been the best hit-out ruckman on the ground. Brought his Rovers into it. Had a torrid third quarter with Spencer jumping all over him. Has come back in the last quarter and played a very useful game.
Farnham's kick right to the full forward position. Big Jones in front, but nipping in it's Johns, and he'll take it on the third grab, and this will put Central's further away.
Well, it's all over by the shouting. We've played 22.5 minutes. The score is 15-14. Central's 11-12 for Port. as number 9 Johns is on his way in from point blank range. And it's a goal. It's a goal, and that's the end of it. Johns, a very handy player, has put his first goal on the board. He's been used as an extra man. He's been used at half forward, and he's played a very useful game. 12 kicks and 1 goal. Central District 16 goals 14. Port Adelaide 11 goals 12. The difference being 5 goals 2 behinds. 22 and a half minute mark. No show Port Adelaide.
Probably for Central District's best performance since they've come into the league, to beat a side that they've never beaten before, and a side that beat them by 15 goals last start. A tremendous performance from Central.
And they're off again, but Evert's there to intercept. He gets a quick hand pass. It's taken by Sorrell. Back to Erie. Erie goes for a short kick and pinpoint precision. Kicks out to Darryl Cale. He kicks forward. Back there is Crone and Freeman. A good effort there by Freeman to take the mark. Port Adelaide player warming up on the boundary lines, but Freeman's got the kick. It's a high one, a long one, right up towards the square. Players go up there, and it's taken by Mildy, and Mildy would be very close to Port Adelaide's best player.
He's kicked 2 goals. Be very, very handy in that forward pocket. Should not miss from there. Would be his 3rd goal. He's only got to just pop it through, and he's done exactly that. Let me see.
He's popped it through for a point.
A point, I'm sorry. Oh, he should not have missed. Should not have missed. It doesn't mar a pretty good performance as far as I'm concerned. 2 goals and a very, very handy rucking performance.
Scoreboard now reading Central District 16-14 to Port Adelaide 11 goals 13 at the 24-minute mark of this last quarter. Ian Crone comes back with a beautiful kick, 55 to 60 yards. Back there is Bruce Light, knocked forward by Vivian to Mulholland. Mulholland's has been another good roving performance this afternoon. He's tackled and held whilst not in possession, and umpire O'Connell has also umpired well this afternoon. You couldn't complain about his performance. In fact, the football has been top class. You've been viewing it on Channel 9 as Mulholland comes in to kick towards the right half forward flank, and back there is Eade. Ed Eade marks on the left half back flank. If you're a Port Adelaide supporter, of course, you wouldn't be too happy. Eade now on the left half back flank. Steadies play, and it's all over. He kicks in towards the centre circle. Up in the air goes Mildy again, is it? No, it's not. It's a new player on for Port Adelaide. He kicks up forward. Back there is Swinstead, and Swinstead marks the Central Districts. He gets pushed over. Could get a 15-yard penalty. No, umpire O'Connell says just get on with the game and play it. Sealy's off.
25 minutes played, and Central Districts in full control, taking their time, well in front.
Swinstead's kick is high towards the left half forward flank, looking for Kevin John. Saywell over the top of the pack. He comes down. He's got Voigt coming at him though. Saywell's there. Saywell tries to bend his body over. Couldn't get to it. In comes Nix. Pushes it forward. Well played. Back there is Erie. So is Kevin Johns. Erie comes around. His kick is high, but he's kept under pressure, and it goes out on the full. Hello,
There's trouble between Voigt and Nix. Are having a few work, but out on the full. Central Districts to take the kick.
Saywell to kick it into play on the left centre wing. David Saywell, the Seiko winner for mine anyway, kicks a short one to Philip Horn, and Philip Horn is marked. He decided to hand pass, now decides to kick towards the centre half forward, looking for Norsworthy. Norsworthy falls over at the long time. Bruce Light's back there. Hand passes back to Russell Ebert. He bounces once, twice. Now he's off for his 3rd bounce. Now he's going for his 4th bounce. Gets onto his left foot. Kicks up the way of centre half forward, looking for Freeman. It's knocked away from Freeman by Crone. Big Farnham's in there. It's kicked forward. Swinstead throws it away. Andrews is back there. Good performance by Andrews. Hand passes away, but it's taken away there by James with a high kick. Back there is the little fella in Nix, yes, he couldn't take the mark. It's snapped off the ground by Cale, Darryl Cale, but it's through for a point.
We've seen some good players for Port Adelaide. Russell Ebert has had 28 kicks, in and out a little bit, but if any player that can get 28 has been a handy player. Spencer also, but it's all Central Districts. Saywell played a good game. Jones played a good game. Cassidy, Horn, Vivian, Andrews. Too many good players on the day, Central Districts, and they're going to run out easy winners by at least 5 goals.
Farnham, another one that's played well, is Crone, the fullback, and his performance has been good. In fact, it's the way to analyse Central Districts as a team performance. The long kick goes out towards the half-back flank. Across there is Vivian, but it's brought away there by Norsworthy. He kicks up looking for Saywell. The ball bounces awkwardly. Across there, coming after it is Voigt. He ducks and dives his way around a pack of players, and if ever I've seen a champion, it's Voigt. He's got tremendous courage, and he keeps on going, but it's taken away from him by Vivian. His kick is high. Back there is Johns and Erie. Courage there by Johns. Curry by Erie. Across there is Horn. Here's a quick look. Gets knocked over for his trouble too. Throws it away with reckless abandon, taken there by Johns. His kick, he's shovelled it forward. Coming away in defence is Beswick to kick to his captain in John Cale. Not the best of games by John Cale. It's a poor kick too. Intercepted there by Vivian. He goes straight through. He's run a good 10 yards too, but umpire O'Connell decides to play on. Erie said, leave it, it's mine, but Spencer comes through. Johns meets that player hard. It's taken away in defence there by Erie. Kicks towards a half-forward flank. Andrews gets pulled underneath the ball. Across there, trying to take it away is the new player on the ground there in Gerlach. Umpire O'Connell, though, decides to bounce it just backward of centre-half forward position for Port Adelaide. Bounce down. Up goes Gerlach again, taken by John Cale. He kicks it high, looking for Eric Freeman, but Crone's there. A good full-back Crone, there's no doubt about that. Fuji.
Safe, he knows what to do. He knew he could mark that in a one-grab marker. There it is. Central District's a magnificent win.
Final scores, a brilliant performance by Central Districts. 16 goals 14 to Port Adelaide 11 goals 14, and this now gives Central Districts still a rough chance of making the four. Magnificent performance, a real team effort by Central Districts, and you've been viewing the match of the day on Channel 9. On behalf of co-commentators Wally May, Max Hall, this is Ian Aitken saying good afternoon to you from the Elizabeth Oval.